Give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back on pussy. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive. Woke up in the morning, sleepy eyes yawning. Jumped out of bed, started the day, opened the curtains. Felt the cool breeze, the sun shining on my face. But something was missing, I needed my job to chase. Give me coffee in the morning, give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me back on pussy. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive.
I was like, where am I? Good morning, all you beautiful souls. Welcome in. Um, yeah, so I slept in this morning. I had a release last night almost, and man, I must have needed it because I sure slept good and slept in and all the good things. But today, I actually feel like 100% good thing, right? Welcome in, Rachel, Butterfly, Forest, and Firefly. You guys rock. My mod team is absolutely amazing. Firefly and I go way back. Butterfly and I go way back, and so do Forrest and Rachel and I. I think I've got a great little team going here, and I appreciate all they do for us here. Fortunately, we got a really good community, and we don't have, we've had it. We just ignore it, but we're no longer ignoring it. Y'all welcome on in and get in here. Grab your coffee. I got mine. I got a big ass cup of coffee. It's kind of that morning, right? A morning for a big old cup of coffee. So, guys, there's some news that popped off overnight that I knew was coming in a sense, but I didn't know to what level it was going to come. Shout out Hillbilly Crime. If you know, you know. If you don't know, let's get informed today. I've been telling y'all, if you are watching the Mickey Steins I Shot the Judge situation, you need to go watch Hillbilly Crime. She's amazing, right? Her reporting and the things that she's been talking about over there at the channel. I've been watching her off and on throughout the whole thing, from the time the sheriff got shot, and I realized she was in the area and she's covering it. She knows the ins and outs of the town. She knows about the people. She knows all the people in the video. I was like, wow, it's interesting. And the more she talked about things, it was like, wow, this is going to be huge. And apparently it's bigger than we thought. Actually, I think it's exactly what some of us already thought. So we're going to dive into what the hell's going on in Letcher County, guys. What's been going on in Letcher County? Because see, over here at Salty Sleuth Investigates, we're not a one-hit wonder. We never set out to only solely cover Bryan Kohberger, mass murderer, quadruple homicide killer, psychopath, sociopath, level 1 autistic individual. That guy? Yeah, he's not our only concern over here. We got lots of concerns because there's a lot of victims out there. And none of us would be here consuming true crime and talking about defendants and what the hell happened if there wasn't a victim laying somewhere wishing someone would step up for them and speak out, especially if the justice system won't. Especially if the justice system fails them. How can we point out stories like that when bullshit like Bryan Kohberger is all people want to talk about. That guy who said he did it, for whatever reason, I don't care. I'm going to be on a little bit of a tyrant, guys, and I don't apologize for my bullshit. So we're not even going to pretend like that Dago crap. I got to apologize 100 times. Nah, I don't do that. If it comes out, it comes out. Now, with that said, I want to welcome everybody in who has been following the show, tuning in, giving me the likes, watching and not chatting. All the watchers who don't chat mean as much to me as the ones who are in my chat, chatting and having a conversation. I am a true crime consumer as well. I know what I enjoy in a chat, in a community, and what I don't enjoy. Now, I'm going to uphold the Constitution every day of my life, not on Tuesday or Sunday or whatever day suits me. Every single day. I was like amazed by this damn Constitution when I was a little kid in school. I could literally sit there and picture all the guys talking and debating about what goes in that thing, the wording of that document, what it meant for the future. Now, of course, I'm not some scholar on the Constitution, but I did many school reports on it because it fascinated me. The thought of it, I mean, my God, the thought of it alone was, wow, these guys really did sit down and think about the futures. And there's people who like to trample all over it and use it for toys and play games and, well, I'm going to use this and that, whatever. Get out of here with your bullshit. We're done. We're done. Over here, we've always said innocent until proven guilty. Duh. Some kind of little tagline we have to use because the YouTube people are going to get mad at us on the streets if we don't say it. Do I got to conform to y'all's rules because you guys made up some strange YouTube street rules over there? No, I make the rules on my channel. Every day. It's a conscious decision. How I run my channel. How I talk about crimes. Who I bring on this panel to discuss them with me. And we always welcome everybody in chat. You got a different opinion? That's fine. Honestly, before a case is settled, you should have a different opinion. Why not? I don't want to be, yeah, we want to be with like-minded people, but I don't want to be conforming because the crowd says to conform, right? We are independent. We have our own thoughts, and they may not, y'all see me and Joe do this when we are up here discussing, Dolphin and I. We don't always agree on every aspect, but we can agree to disagree and discuss the differences of our disagreement. And chat 9 times out of 10 is right there with us. Now, I made a conscious decision a long time ago when I launched the channel about how I would cover Idaho 4 going forward. Because I came from a community where Idaho 4 was this nasty, disgusting place. And it was something I'd never seen before. And it was appalling. And it got to a point where it was absolutely sickening because of the way the victims were drugged in the case. Even when none of your rumors panned out, you couldn't let it go. Couldn't let it go. And apparently 2.5 years later, still can't let it go. And honestly, if you want to sit over there and have a 5-hour conversation about Bryan Kohberger's innocence and look at your camera and dead ass at your entire community and tell 1,000.5 people that Kohberger is innocent today, okay. What am I going to say to stop you? Not a damn thing. Me coming over there and hanging out in your chat and going up against what you're saying isn't going to change your mind. Yours ain't gonna change my mind. Not by a long shot. If you had a legit argument, I'm actually willing to panel you and have a full-on discussion because that's my jams. You got a real reason that dude might take an appeal, or wait, let me back up. I don't care about that. You got a legit reason that guy said he was innocent and signed that paper? I'll hear you out. Legitimate reason. I will hear you out 1,000%. Because after what we see in Letcher County, hell, who the hell can we trust anymore? Without questions, we never have answers. My questions don't lie if Bryan Kohberger's guilty or innocent. My question right now, my brain is still stuck on what the hell happened in November when you had the guy, local law enforcement. Ouch. It burns, don't it? Now you're on damage control out there. I hear you. That's a whole other subject I can't even discuss yet, although it interests the shit out of me. And again, shout out McDonough, because it interests you too, and I liked that damn show you did. I watched it again. That's how much I liked it. It says a lot for someone like me, because I'm not easily impressed. I'm super hard to impress. Your shiny toys will never impress me. Your big loud voice and your full-on intent stares, that shit's comical. And the only reason I'm bringing this up at this point, because I don't care what case I cover, whether it be Idaho 4, whether it's Delphi, whether it's Lori Dan Vallow, bye bitch, you got back to Idaho safely, you enjoyed that trip back. It was awesome. Bye, honey. No matter how we cover these cases, I don't drag family members of any case. I got so turned off on Delphi more times than I can count. And when in fact, I'm 3 minutes late from my show this morning because I was listening to Andy Baldwin's interview with Anjanette Levy, because I'm fascinated with that dude. I'm fascinated with it. And I want to cover it so bad I can't stand it. But I got to get done with this Idaho 4 bullshit. And when I do cover that Delphi situation, don't expect me to cover what's going on in them streets. It's not about what's going on in them streets to me. I don't care who's running around talking about who, saying what, doing got. I don't care. None of that does any of these dead victims justice. None of it. What I saw happen to Rick Allen over the past 2.5 years and what I saw happen to Bryan Kohberger disgusts me to no end. It was like the biggest travesty of true crime I'd ever seen in my life. Especially when people came out screaming, it's about the Constitution when Bryan Kohberger's concerned. Is it really? Have you seen Rick Allen lately? Have you? Did you know that Odinist Guards was guarding that dude in a max security prison before he ever went to fucking trial? Did you? Are you willing to hear me out on it? Are we too busy worried about poor little Bryan Kohberger over there? He's just a kid, according to Dago. Yeah, I'm calling you out by name, buddy, because I don't care, and you know that. Because now my problem is my community has been subjected to the bullshit the trailer park is spewing about that kid locked up in Idaho Max security prison, cleaning his Crocs relentlessly with his damn OCD. Listening to the vent people. I'm going to write letters to the vent people. Say this next. Say that next. This shit will be funny. Call him mother through the vent. You'll get a rise out of him if you talk about mother. He'll come unleashed in that little cage. Hell, he might start confessing real confessions in detail like Rick Allen. Give him some Halidol. He'll calm right down. Shit, send Dr. Walla over there. She's the damn expert. Let her have at him. She'll fix him right up. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll get informed real soon. Because it's not about people. It's not about a damn creator. It's not about the story you can find, the bizarre Facebook post you can find and put out there, the doxing of a whole entire town of college students. And Kaylee Gonzalez deserves better than to be called a fucking prostitute, Dago. And Jesse, you've been pushing that narrative for 2.5 years and you know it. It's not new. So yesterday I have my friend Dolphin up here. Always got my girl up here when we're talking Idaho 4. My chat's rolling. They're having conversations with each other. We're just talking. Coffee and crime conversations. People want to come in with the, sideways conversations about, let's debate the innocence of Bryan Kohberger. Really? No, we're not anymore on my channel. If he hadn't taken his plea deal and tucked his tail and ran to save Mother, we'd be at trial today, day 2 of jury selection. And you'd get all your little fucking answers, and you wouldn't be satisfied with them. Nothing's going to change your mind. Nothing. The trial wouldn't have. And you know it. Oh, I need to see the trial. They convinced me at the trial, then it'd be different, but we didn't get that option. Yeah, because your boy took a plea. So when he gets his tablet, y'all start writing him and asking him, why the hell did you do that, Bryan Kohberger? I will, if y'all won't. Don't think I won't. I'll become his best friend like Annie. We can communicate. Maybe he'll tell me the real deal. Maybe he'll finally confess the real killers to me. I'll get a scoop. Wouldn't that be awesome? Maybe I'll do it, just for shits and giggles. But what you're not going to do anymore, or what's not going to happen here going forward, and my mods know, I'm very lenient. Come in, let's have conversations, let's discuss what you think, what you think you know, what you don't know. If you got a question, and we'll help you out, whatever. But when they come in with that stuff, and some of the people listening or seeing it in the chat don't know what these people are talking about, and I got to stop and address it, and it distracts my guest, it distracts me. The next thing you know, the chat's feeling obligated to spill the facts, and it becomes this thing. Now, if we were at trial and we didn't know yet, open for debate. Come on in, let's talk about it. Respectfully, adult-like, critically thinking-like. Because I simply cannot with the backyard cackling neighbor bullshit. That's not who this girl is. And when the crowd goes right, I'm the girl going left. But I think you can sit over there and talk about Bryan Kohberger's innocence all the hell you want to without dragging the victims, without blaming Kaylee's lifestyle. And Willie, where did you get she had $100,000 in the bank account, baby? Where? I can only guess. And one of those creators is being propped up by the Delphi community because she spoke out about the Delphi case. Wow. Who can we really trust going forward about problems with a case if they can't fucking see the writing on the wall? This case has legit problems. This case, I don't. How can I trust you going forward? Anything you say, even about Delphi. Come on, man, be honest. How can you trust a damn thing I tell you about Delphi if you can't trust what I'm telling you about Idaho 4? It's ridiculous. Chris Watts case? Go Google it. That man didn't kill his wife, did he? Hell no. And I'm going to go out there and preach about how Rick Allen's innocent and Bryan Kohberger. And y'all going to go eat it all up. Every fucking bit of it. Not y'all, not my community. Some of these people listening do. And when I went to go review what was actually being said, I was like, oh man, why are they over here engaging and complaining about it at the same time? Why? Last night I had a group of good friends sitting and chilling, and I went and joined them. They let me vent. Thank God. Because I don't want to alienate people from this show because I lost my shit. But, like you said, Dago, sometimes it's got to be said, don't it, honey? Just got to be said. Got to be said. Big bad mainstream media. Oh, the devil. The devil's you. And if I hear one more damn comment about they're making bank and they're da-da-da-da-da, people are making money, but who's making money on these YouTube streets? Because I don't know anybody. I would Dago. Seen that man get thrown $500 at one drop. Saw it with my own eyes sitting right there in chat going, holy shit. $500 because you put WSU Mom Kim on your fucking panel and let her roll? And now you're sending her apology notes because nobody believed her. Well, yeah, they did. Everybody that you have believed Kim. People still believe Kim. The only thing WSU Mom Kim got right in her whole entire 2-year fiasco of a story was that Snapchats went out early and people knew. Yeah, they did. Because Dylan called the fucking friends from next door. And when they all get over there and 911 gets called, they're all snapping their friends. Holy shit, something's happened. Duh. That's critical thinking. Of course that happened, dumbasses. Everything else Kim said along the way was a rumor she picked up out of a Facebook group and then was instructed to take her newly crafted story to YouTube and find T-Rev. Isn't that right, Melissa Jade? Epic takedown of WSU Mom Kim by Melissa Jade. It was beautiful to watch. Beautiful. Her and Shay did a fantastic job. I sent them all that I had. Shay's an amazing researcher. It wasn't hard to figure you out, Kim. Shit, Jules even figured your ass out, and Jules caught hell for figuring out WSU Mom Kim. Called her slap out. And they were like panicking. Oh my God, Jules is calling out Kim. Scary. Jules wasn't wrong. Whatever. So my bods have been instructed because I need to get on with my show. I got other shit I want to talk about for real. I'm just over it. There's no truth to any of the bullshit being spread about the victims of Idaho 4. None whatsoever. And so one more person comes into my chat, even trying to engage in a conversation about the innocence of Bryan Kohberger, you will be booted and banned immediately. No questions asked, no warnings will come with it. I don't care what you go tell the YouTube streets, how they don't allow this and that at Salty's channel. Fuck off with your bullshit. Put this on replay and hear me out again. New rule concerning the Idaho 4 case in my channel. My chat will not be exposed to that bullshit anymore. Period. People who choose to go over and engage with those people, that's your energy. Do what you will with it. I think I can better serve the victims of the case talking about justice for their case based on what I'm seeing in documents and at the right guys behind bars. Nothing else to talk about. They can go away with their green car. They can go away with their little stories. They can go away with all of that. I don't care. Nothing I say is going to change their minds, guys. Nothing you say in their chats. I know y'all are trying, but come on, man. 3 years later, you think you're going to walk in there and change their damn minds? No. They're looking for a fight. They're looking for the energy, and they know you're going to bring it. They know you're going to bring it, which elevates them with their own chat. See how it works? And I don't get into that shit. I can't. That's not even a serious ass conversation in my book. I want to discuss the judge in the town getting it on with all the girls. Come on. I want to discuss what the hell what happened at WSU in November when they had the car twice in 30 minutes. But December, we don't know the guy's name. That's a problem for me. You had vulnerable college girls at risk. The guy could have flipped his shit again and went off and done it again. You didn't know he wouldn't. You going to downplay that shit now? Idaho? WSU? You got to keep downplaying the fact that red flags were flying all over this guy everywhere? Not one time, not one professor thought, man, maybe. Shit, your reports reflect you thought he was going to be a psycho one day. You never thought this guy might be the Idaho slasher? Not one time. Is that too much on the university? Too much? Nothing to see here. Oops, our bad. We missed it. Really? Because documents are reflecting you might have known something was up. Can we have that fucking conversation today? Can we? Too much? Can we rip Dylan a new asshole for being the dumbest girl on earth? We could. But it feels icky. Because it is what it is. The girl's all over the place. Her statements are insane. Problematic at best. Just give her a hug and put her to bed. My God. Get her some help. That's all I can say about her going forward. So when I get through reading these damn documents and I fill out this case, I'm going to be focused on the investigation or lack of, where mistakes were made, how it could have been done better, what can they do better going forward, the conversations that should be had, kind of that shitty investigation over there in Delphi, whatever that was. Was it a big cover-up like in Letcher County? Does the judge in the town got bloodstains on their hands? Are we too chicken shit to go find out? Because we got to make up rumors about Idaho for 3 solid fucking years. Excuse my French, people, but y'all know me over here. I really don't care. My pawpaw is coming out, and so is my mama, actually. I feel her. She'd be proud right now. And promise you this, she'd be going 5 times harder than I'm going to go. Because the one thing my mama always did was stick up for the underdog and the victims. Period. She's the reason I was into true crime. She was the reason I was into government, period. If my mama was still here, she'd probably be co-hosting with me just like old Hillbilly Crime got her mama over there sometimes. I'd have my mama here too. Y'all'd love her. Maybe. After today, I may lose some people. I may gain some. I don't know. I don't care. It is what it is. I'll find my people. Because I feel like I have. And last night, that little group of friends that let me come in there and vent, a lot of them I've known for a long time in this space. A lot of them have known all the BS has gone back for 3 years. And people are shocked at some of the BS that's been gone on over the 3 years with this case. Especially those who don't know. They're like, what in the world? I'm sure it's really confusing to a lot of them when they go into these other channels and hear all this other stuff that never panned out, that they cannot and will not let go of, because you can't go back on that. How do you come back from 100% guilt to, oh, wow, we were wrong? You can't come back from that. So you got to double down. And then you cherry pick a freaking document. See, there was the drug ring right there. That was the cartel indication. Yeah, duh. Did y'all think they didn't investigate every single avenue possible? I would expect them to. We tried to discuss that. We tried to have those conversations back in the day. Oh, God, no. It's a cover up. It's a cover up. And fucking tunnels, all that fentanyl, and cartels. Brian Koberger working for the government and stumbled upon some secret ass website. Oh, now we got an autism registry going that the government has secret. And they're using the autistic people to commit mass murders and different things. Brian Koberger stumbled upon that and figured it out. They got to shut his ass up. That's why he took a plea deal and is sitting in prison right now. The stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Give me a fucking break. Government's got a damn... We are all on that damn website thing. Whatever they got. Because apparently we all of us have level 1 autism, apparently. Listen to people talk, they'll tell you. So we're all at risk of our big bad government, the Python, coming in hot, doing them broad ass search warrants on us, snacking our name, and there we go. Whatever. It's mind-boggling to me, and it's disgusting. And I'm done with this rant because I feel like it's took a lot of my energy, and my coffee cup is empty, and we cannot have that. Hell no, we can't have that over here. I had to go a week without my coffee because I was sick. Today I finally feel better. It's probably not a good thing that I felt better, and I'm sure the screenshots have happened in my chat. I'm sure the mods with 15 alt accounts that run around trolling the universe here on the streets, like you did me back when I was launched the channel and I was doing that show on Madeline Soto. It was a very sensitive show. We were having to read some difficult things from some documents. We were trying to do it with grace, but yet draw attention to the types of things children like Madeline Soto were exposed to every day right now in this country. A little girl like Madeline Soto is being harmed. Little girls like Abby and Libby harmed right now in the woods somewhere in America. Little baby Emmanuel missing, and his mama gonna cry on the fucking TV like Susan Smith about her baby being missing. Some guy done smacked her in the head and took off with her baby. Help me find him. And boy, the channels are sensationalizing that poor baby's case just like Sebastian Rogers. I can't even look at it. So we're going to cover true crime here going forward, like we've always done, fairly, objectively. We're going to share our thoughts, opinions, and theories, because that's what we fucking do on YouTube, without crossing lines, destroying lives, going at each other, arguing about dumb shit. Because I do realize there's nothing I can say that's going to stop what they do. Not one thing. So I won't give it any more of my energy. And my chat will not have to be exposed to any more of the bullshit. Mods, you know exactly what to do. There will be no warnings going forward in this channel concerning Idaho 4. You simply come in with that kind of conversation, you'll be kicked immediately. And the people who are in here, don't even come in here telling us what they're saying from this point going forward. Because, like I said, it's not the conversation I'm wanting to have. It's distracting as hell, and that's the point. Remember? They're doing it for distraction. It's distract you. Fuck. I'm not in high school. I'm damn near 60 years old, and I need fresh coffee. So I'm going to mute and go get my coffee. You guys regroup. If you want to stick around, I love you and I appreciate it. Please do. Please do. And I hope y'all feel safe enough and welcome enough to join chat with an open conversation on your views and your thoughts, even if they are different than mine. Because I'm absolutely the one to have an open conversation with. I'm here for it. I'm willing to hear you out if you're an adult and you don't come across as stupid. All right? I'll be right back, guys. Chat amongst yourself. Okay, I got my coffee and I'm back. All right, let's see. Sorry, guys. So if that was too much for anybody, whatever. I don't think it was too much. So I'm just going to check out chat for a minute. Hey, Texas Ranger, Pammy, welcome in. Firefly, you're here. Sirius Black. Hey, Joe, you're coming in late and you kind of regret it. Oh, well, thank you, Firefly. I appreciate that. Hey, Jeff. Uh-oh. Yeah, I had to go get my coffee refill for sure. I'm just over the bullshit. So we're going to move on because there's no more conversation to be had here about this man's innocence or guilt. That conversation's done. It's shifted. And we're moving forward. And so because there is no trial, like I said, and he did say I'm guilty, the conversation is closed now about guilt or innocence. So don't bring this shit to my channel. All right, now we're going to move on. With that said, before we get on to what's going down there in Letcher County, because oh boy, buckle up, buttercups. Oh shit. We all know that there's been all these documents are getting released in the Idaho 4 case, and we all love transparency. I love transparency. I'm in Florida. We get it all. We get more than we probably should, let's be honest. Way before trial, people would have a cow if their defendant was going to trial in Florida because we know it all. It just is what it is. Get over it. So with that said, there's been a lot, put out already. Most of it document-wise, and then there was that 200 photo dump that the privileged media got. And I'll say it that way. The privileged media got those photos. Nobody else got them yet. They've not been released. FOIA requests for anybody. They're not put on a website to download for anybody, blah, blah, blah. So the media went through them and released a handful, and we looked at those here on the channel. We saw them together. So Madison Mogen's mother now, her attorney has filed an injunction, or they have got actually, I don't even know when this hearing is. They filed a document asking for a hearing to put a halt on releasing any more information pertaining to Madison's bedroom, right? This is not a blanket, because you're going to hear that. It's already being said on Twitter as of last night that the new conspiracy theory is this is being done to keep the public from seeing the photos because there's no sheath, right? The big planted sheath, the big sheath cover up. Now Idaho is going to hide those photos from us so we don't see that there was never a sheath. No, that's not what's happening. Madison's mom did this all on her own because right now, Karen is feeling incredibly overwhelmed. And if you can't see that, you got no business being in this chat. Karen Laramie had one child, Madison Mogen. Stacy Chapin had 3. Christy G, how many? 5, baby? You got 5? 2 of those 3 mothers had other little reasons to get up and move forward each day. One did not. And right now, I'm pretty sure she's feeling overwhelmed and feeling like everywhere she turns, what she sees is her daughter's bloody bedroom. She's not on YouTube watching streams about it. She's watching mainstream media. She can't help it. It's there. It's on the TV. It's on her phone. It is what it is. I'm not knocking the photos being viewed. I'm not doing that. What she's asking for specifically, photos of the bodies on the bed. Body cam footage of her daughter on that bed. None of that. And I don't so I'm going to leave that fight between her and that attorney. The attorney made it clear. This is the law. The photos are coming. It's the law. But we need a judge to maybe intervene and see if there's a balance, right? If there's anything in here so sensitive, it should not be released. Because in reality, it's coming. It's part of the case. And you can't pick and choose which cases you decide to keep things out of. Now, in Florida, you're not ever going to see Madeline Soto's autopsy reports and photos. Never. It's against the law in my state because of Gannon Smith, or I'm sorry, Gannon Stalk. Because of what happened in that case. When the little YouTuber, whatever the hell she is, got a hold of all that in a FOIA request and went and made people pay her on Patreon to go view that poor little baby's dead body found in a suitcase under a bridge in my hometown. Come see it. Come pay me and see these photos of this dead child. Zav Girl, is that her name? Yeah, honey, we have a new law now in Florida to protect children because of people like you. So I get where Madison's mother's coming from right now, and I think we all need to step back and give her a moment because the state of Idaho didn't give her a moment. No shade on them for releasing the documents. The public is beating down the fucking door and give me the documents. Give me it all right now. 1,000 FOIA requests all at one time. Be patient, people. Is that a new concept? Did we move beyond patience a long time ago? We got a whole entire case docket full of sealed documents that I'm dying to become unsealed. Not because I want to slander the case, because from a legal true crime brain enthusiast, I want to see it and discuss it as a whole like that. The investigation into a madman. That's what I'm looking at, right? Nothing else. Y'all crack me up. I kind of need to stop. So she filed, they're going to hold a hearing, and let me see. I wanted to pull up the part of that because it's kind of linked. What I'm going to do is grab the link to that interview with the attorney for Madison's mom, and I'm going to put it in chat. Give me a second, guys. Let me do something. Okay, let me grab the link. So Brian Enton did this report. Brian Enton, man, you've been on it. They went after you too, dude. You and Ashley Banfield, y'all all liars. All liars. Like, okay. Oh, I wonder if it'll let me do this. Let's see. Hold on, guys. Be patient. Let me go. Enter. Did that show up? Okay, that should be it. We're going to play a second of it, though. Let me pull it up the right way. So what we're going to do today is we'll go over this for a second, what this means, and then we're going to move into what's going down in Letcher County, because oh my God. Hey, all eyes. Yes, and Letcher County is crazy, girl. Crazy. Had that feeling, an old judge over there trying to pretend like he helps some poor girls on drugs. Lord help us all. Here we go.
Many of the victims' families in the Bryan Kohberger case have been very upset that photos have started to come out, been released by authorities, photos from inside the victim's house, really gruesome crime scene photos. And now several of the families are taking legal action. They're taking legal action against the city of Moscow, trying to stop the.
He just said several families, so I wonder if there's more had followed suit. I don't blame them at this point. Yeah, because the state didn't give them any warning or give them like a moment to review all this before they released it. And they could have. They should have. Like, we have no choice. We got to release this, but here's what's happening, right? And put some safeguards in place. But no, as usual, we're going to fumble it down there in Moscow.
Release of additional photos. There's a lot of requests that have been put in. There's a lot of people trying to get these photos. And now I've learned the families are taking new action to try and stop the release. There's actually going to be a hearing in court this week in Latah County, which is where Moscow, Idaho is, which of course is where the murders happened. I'm going to explain all the latest developments in this episode of Brian Enton Investigates. Leander James, you are the attorney. I know you're representing the Mogans. Are you representing any other families now?
Yeah, as of yesterday, I'm representing the Chapins also.
Oh, okay. Well, you got Stacy on board now. You done messed with the wrong mama bear. And I know Karen's got it in her. Karen's the quiet one. You better watch her. Who's been the most silent mother of all through this whole thing? Karen. Come after her baby.
Okay. And so tell us, Mr. James, what's happening. There's now a legal fight to stop the crime scene photos, additional photos from coming out. Sort of walk us through, because this is the first we're hearing about it, how this started and sort of where things stand.
Well, as you know, this case has garnered a great deal of national, international attention. The reasons for which I don't understand, but it's there. The city of Moscow has received approximately 1,000 FOIA requests. FOIA is the short term for the statute, the Freedom of Information Act statute. There's a federal statute. There's also a state statute, and Idaho has its own FOIA statute. In the Idaho FOIA statute, as in other FOIA statutes, the general concept is that public documents, such as the investigatory documents related to in this case, the city police investigating the murders, is generally open to the public scrutiny. The idea behind FOIA being, the whole concept being that in our country, we want to have open access to what the police are doing, how they're doing it, and so forth. So we have transparency.
Okay, so guys, with that said, that is a lengthy interview there, and we got more to get to, so I did drop the full link to that, because it's under the law. If you listen to this attorney, it's super interesting. It was to me, because I know the law requires they release these, but at the same time, I get that where's that line? Where's that balance, right? And do I need to see a body on the bed? No. Do I want to see a photo of a sheath on the bed? Honestly, yeah. Why? True crime brain. But do I need to see it to know Brian Koberger's guilty? Hell no. So it honestly don't matter if I see it or not, right? But if it's going to protect what dignity the victim has left, it's what it comes down to. What dignity does a victim have left when they can no longer stand up and say, please don't do that? Not that picture. Do you have to put that one out there? Out of the thousands you took? Viewing an image of a crime scene, like in Delphi, was almost a necessity because of the allegations. It wasn't almost, it was a necessity. Should they have been leaked all over the internet? No. Hell, there were enough drawings out there depicting what happened based off what people had already seen in leaked photos. I can't unsee some of the things I see in this space, and I've seen too much. But I can compartmentalize what I see. And it won't keep me up tonight. I'm weird that way. But it might keep up that victim's family tonight. Worrying about her might keep me up tonight. But what I saw won't keep me up tonight. That doesn't make it okay for me to come out here and sensationalize the hell out of it and exploit it all over the place. I've seen things I've never shared on a live stream that I will never, ever share on a live stream. And this girl's got no desire to be caught up in anybody's court documents, right? None. That's not my end game. I'm not trying to get a court TV gig over here. Shit. That requires cameras and being polite and all that stuff. Fake. If I were to get asked to go on to court TV, it would require me to be fake. I would need to show my face to become more polished and never say a cuss word. Only on the occasion. So let's move on. Let's go check out what's happening in Letcher County. Because my God, y'all. Okay, so if you don't know the story of what happened in Letcher County, that's the town in Kentucky where the sheriff walked into the courthouse and into what was at the time alleged the judge's chambers. Now, Elizabeth pointed out a while back that that wasn't the actual chambers, original chambers. There was like another office that was the quote unquote chambers. So we're not sure what that room was where the judge was actually shot at. So this day, they go to lunch. They all come back. They're all hanging out in the courthouse doing their thing. And they're all in the judge's chambers, and the sheriff walks in, instructs everybody else to leave, sits down, has a conversation with the judge, all casual, like no audio, just a camera in the room. And allegedly, the camera's in the room because there had been a lawsuit filed, civil suit filed against the county, the sheriff, involving sexual misconduct. So for whatever reason, a camera was installed now. So now the sheriff goes in, they have a conversation, something about he picks up the phone, he makes a phone call, he lays it back down. Rumors flew about that phone call. But he gets up and he shoots the judge multiple times and walks out the door. A few minutes later, he walks outside the courthouse. Everybody's running around. Oh my God, what happened? Judge is shot. There comes Mickey just strolling out of the courthouse like, yeah, I did it. We're all like, what the hell? Mickey, why would you do that? Why? I think we're finding out why. So I was doing some investigating, very early on in this case, and it turns out that the judge, his ex-brother-in-law, was like the Commonwealth attorney. Go figure. The original lawsuit in the county was filed against the bailiff who worked for the judge. He was accused of allowing women to get ankle monitors to go home and get out of jail. But instead of paying for their ankle monitors, they could just come have some sex in the judge's chambers with the bailiff. We're all good here. Go home, honey, enjoy. What? That was happening? That was the allegation in the lawsuit. And Mickey Steins was being accused because, as the sheriff, he failed to train his deputies. So he had just given a deposition 3 days before the judge was shot. 3 days before he shot the judge, he gives a deposition in the civil suit pertaining to the sex happening in the judge's chambers. It makes you go, what again, right? The judge is like the main guy in town. He's implemented all these programs. I found video of him where he is talking to some girls sitting out by a lake, and they're going on and on and on about his drug program. According to Hillbilly Crime, there's a lot of questions behind those programs. Miss Ma'am wasn't wrong. Shout out again, honey, because you're killing it. She's like absolutely been killing it. On point. So drop her shit again. Let's go watch her and give her some love. And let's watch this video. So Brian, I'm assuming now Mickey Steins has attorneys, and he's going under what they call, what is it called again? Emotional disturbance in Kentucky. There's this law they have. Like, he could lose his shit in the moment and shoot him, and that's a defense. At first, that was like looking like where we're going with this, right? But still, why, Mickey? Why would you do that? Was you having issues? Everything good? What was that about? And turns out Mickey was holding some secrets, and some people in the town were holding secrets, and they knew. And it's like, whoa, this is a lot to take in, but we're going to take it in. We're going to be here for it. And remember, doing victimology on your victims, right? They're going to admit to things, and they're going to admit to, you got to take it all with a grain of salt. Put yourself in that position for like 1 second. Like 1 second, right? If you like a young person, if coming from that angle, when they're talking about these things that happen. Because in Sabrina Atkins' deposition, she absolutely told him everything she knew. She even said, I've seen videos of the judge having sex in the chambers. That's what she said in her taped deposition. Joe and I went over Mickey Stein's entire deposition here. We took, what was it? He was Mickey, and I was the attorney asking the questions. Joe played the part beautifully. It was epic. Man. It was good. So now, News Nation's got a hold of this story, or I guess they've been investigating, because he says he's been talking to people, right? Enton, of course, been talking to people. A few of them don't want to speak out yet. I can understand why, especially because I don't have any reason to believe these people are telling stories, making up cute stories and telling lies. Hell no. One of them speaking out is not a girl who was involved in the activities that were taking place in town, right? So let's start checking it out. There is a longer version that he did put out. Let's see. Let's go ahead and watch this one. There were 2 segments dropped earlier, last night, a few minutes each, and then sometime in the middle of the night, daylight, I don't remember, another lengthier piece was dropped. And It's worth taking a look at. All right. How many of you in the chat are familiar with the case at all? I mean, I've got an article about the judge doing these the drug programs, and what any of the girls, like, say if you got caught even for weed, right? You got a joint, whatever, a little baggie. They could like lure you into their little system, right? And if you had a kid, they could threaten you. And if you don't, then the next thing you know, you're having sex with the judge and the jailers and the this and the that's. And each time you ever got in trouble, they're going to do this and that for you and help you. And then the drug court thing was apparently some kind of scam as well that fed into the scam of the ankle monitors. Holy shit, there's a lot to unpack. So, yeah, we got to get Elizabeth over here. She's been so busy that we just haven't been. We talked about it. She did agree to come talk to us, but man, she's been busy, right? And so have we. So it just hasn't happened. Maybe we can make it happen soon, but if not, go catch up on this case. That's the best advice I can give you, is to go over there and check her out and get caught up, because holy hell. Whoops. Hang on. I didn't hit the share button. There were rumors in the beginning that it involved the sheriff's daughter, right? That it was like he called his daughter on the phone. The judge was getting it on with the daughter. No, none of that was happening. One of her family members came out on Facebook right after that fact and took a stance, like, leave my, I think it was a half brother, step brother, something. Leave my sister alone. She has nothing to do with this, blah, blah, blah. I don't really know what the phone call was about. I'm not even sure if Elizabeth knows the whole backstory on that. She might. All right, let's see what Brian's got to say. And who did you get to talk, Brian? You big, bad, mainstream media, horrible reporter, you. You don't bother me, dude. I like you.
Please click to subscribe. I'm in Letcher County, Kentucky right now. This is where the sheriff shot and killed the judge, right in the judge's chambers. I'm investigating what happened, and there is a lot more to the story. Allegations of a secret sex ring. I'm looking into all of it for this edition of Brian Entin Investigates.
Guys, it's got it all. If you want drama and true crime, this is it. Holy cow.
Hey guys, so I've got two really interesting interviews coming up from Kentucky. First of all, a woman who I spoke to said that she had sex with the judge countless times. The judge who was murdered. She said she had sex with him countless times to get out of crimes, and she says that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the corruption. Also, a jailer, a different woman who worked in the jail as a guard, who says that there were sex parties going on in and around the jail, and she goes into detail. So you're going to hear from both of those women in a second. First, let me give you guys some of the backstory here, catch you up if you haven't been following this case. Former Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins has been jailed since the killing last September of the judge. It was caught on surveillance camera. This is in Whitesburg, Kentucky. That's where I was. And again, just think about this. This is a sheriff, the county sheriff, killing the judge. So this is extremely unusual. And from the moment this happened, I knew there had to be more to the story here. Steins is accused of fatally shooting Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins in the judge's chamber. And Mullins died at the scene, and Steins, again, who was the sheriff at the time, surrendered without incident. The surveillance video shows a man who looks just like Steins pulling out a gun, shooting Mullins as he sat at his desk, and the man walked around the desk then, pointed at the gun at the judge, and then fired again. Authorities haven't yet released a motive for the shooting, but this is where things get really interesting here when you start to peel back the layers. The judge, according to lawsuits that we've looked into and people that we've talked to, could have been involved in a sex for favors plot. The judge was connected to a sex for favors scheme when women on house arrest exchanged sexual acts for special treatment, and this is according to a lawsuit. Now, since the murder of Judge Mullins, everyone has speculated as to Sheriff Steins' motive for killing Mullins. The reason behind the shooting, according to some locals, could be that Judge Mullins, again, was involved in this sex for favors scandal, demanded that
Uh-oh. What happened? Hold on.
Stein to
There we
keep
go.
his mouth shut about it when a lawsuit was filed by one of the victims. And at this point, at least 2 women that we know of have filed lawsuits who say that they were forced to have sex or they were told that they would have to go back to jail. And so that takes us back to where we are now, these women coming forward, including a woman who I interviewed named Taya Adams, who sat down with me. I went to her home in Kentucky, and she said that she had sex with the judge to get out of trouble. She acknowledges that the corruption is widespread. She also acknowledges that she's been in and out of trouble for addiction, and has been in and out of jail, but said that actually made her the perfect victim, and says she is telling the truth about what happened. Listen to this. So, what was your first interaction with the judge?
I knew him before because my sister worked for the Commonwealth Attorney for a really long time. Like, I grew up in his office and stuff. So whenever he got elected to be Commonwealth Attorney, and we moved over into City Hall, and then Kevin was the Assistant Commonwealth Attorney, and his office was like across the road from it. And I was kind of like informal interning there, like learning office management and stuff. And I went over to his office to learn how to take a deposition. And that was the first interaction that I had with him as far as the sex and stuff goes.
What happened?
I gave him oral with my shirt pulled down, and whenever we were done, he threw money in my face, told me to clean myself up, and reminded me that I knew better than to tell my sister.
Damn.
And what was his job at that time?
Assistant Commonwealth Attorney. And we would do sex parties and perform shows and have sex with them.
Assistant Commonwealth Attorney at the time it started. Did it stop with you, Judge Mullen? Because I'm wondering about your brother-in-law, who was the Commonwealth Attorney at the time this happened, who recused his office, right, because of the family tie. And according to these women, the whole damn town knew. Oh, boy. The whole town.
For money, things like that.
Where were the parties?
Various places. There are different cabins. There's an apartment down like toward Thornton that they would use that's got like mirrored ceilings and a bidet and a sex swing and all the things.
They got a what? They got what set up for to do what in? What we need to understand about Kentucky is how hard the opioid addiction hit that town, that state. How hardcore it really is. The amount of opioids that move through the state of Kentucky is unbelievable. Meth, rampant. Tiny little rural America. Tiny little town, a dot on a map that nobody would ever know about otherwise. Succumb to drugs. Like many small towns around America and many large towns around America. Nobody's safe. Nobody. So if you got the judge and his buddies and they're all like, hey, we can help these chicks out. Hey, we can give them more and we can give them this. Where's those drugs coming from y'all was giving these girls? We got more questions.
Did you feel like you could say no?
Sex swings. Can you get it? I mean, come on.
No, and they would make sure to make you feel as small and degraded and belittled as possible to take your power away,
What sort of things would they do?
But also, like, I have to say, like, we were having fun too. Like we were doing drugs, we was doing coke, doing a lot of cocaine, partying, like it wasn't like they were just like, they weren't raping like physically, like, what people think about when they hear the word rape. It was consensual. But it was the thing that we were so young, and then they used it against us and to destroy our lives later.
How so?
With the legal system. And CPS. Systematically removing your whole life, piece by piece.
Did they ever tell you that you couldn't say anything?
Yeah. I mean, that was just a given, And like, who would believe it anyway? Because The whole town's doing it. You know, nobody cares. They're all swingers. It's all a big party to them.
Good Lord, a whole town of swingers. Now, Hillbilly Crime, she wasn't wrong again. Wasn't wrong again. That's crazy, because there is some stuff being said about, oh my God, even one of the guys that works at the jail and his wife that works at the jail. It's like, what? Makes you side eye. And now these people are finally coming and speaking out, right? It's crazy. Do you think the whole town knew, guys, and they're just like, whatever, you know? And I think I'd know if my husband was a cop or the judge and he was not home all the time and he's always at the courthouse. What the hell?
It was just like so normal.
Did you ever
Were they those kind of women that just turned a blind eye because, you know, it's better than looking?
have sex with him after he became judge?
Yeah.
When he was the judge?
Yes. I've had sex with him in the chambers. I've had sex with him upstairs.
You had sex in the chambers?
Yes.
How did that
It was not the room that's on film.
See?
That's on where that camera is, where the murder and stuff happened. That's not the room that was always the chambers. I don't know, like, I think it.
So that's what Hillbilly Crime reported on recently. Well, it's probably been a few weeks that I saw that episode. So not really when she said that. Sure, when she said it, the timeline on that, but she has said it. And we had heard in the beginning, the reason that camera was in this room was because of the allegations about what was going on in the judge's chambers. Because it was unusual for a camera to be in a judge's chamber, right? And that was the story circulating, that was the reason. So where is the real judge's chambers? What the hell is he? That was a smoking room. They all sat in there and smoked their 100 cigarettes.
Might be behind that where it was, but there was like a different desk and everything in there. That's not the same room.
And how did that happen?
What?
The sex in the chambers? I mean, what?
We would just like, sometimes we'd just go over there and hang out, and he'd be like, just hang out. Let me go sit on the bench for a while. I'll be in a minute. You know, and everybody would come back there and smoke and stuff after.
He had the girls waiting there and chill while he goes out there and conducts his courtroom. I'll be back in a minute. Y'all chill. Have some more cocaine. What? Now, we don't have no reason not to believe this lady or the next one at this point, right? So I can't go, oh, she's lying. I don't feel like she would make this up and come out here and talk to Brian Denton on the damn national news if it wasn't true.
The girls who, they would.
I mean, unless we put her like a WSU Mom Kim type, I'm not getting the vibe. Not getting the vibe, right? The pipeline ran right up your state, right? Sirius Black. I deal with the I-10 corridor. Shit, from here to California. It's on like Donkey Kong, as they'd say, right? What you need, drug trafficking, running, human trafficking, you name it, it runs up and down I-10 corridor, right? Right through my little town, through my state, all the way up to the coast of California. It's insane. And all the little places that funnel off of these places, right? And the whole, but it's really taken a toll in Kentucky. We just had a pill mill busted again here locally. That shit started in the state of Florida. Pill mills. There's a whole documentary about it. The two brothers from Miami. Just recently, they busted another pharmacy and a doctor's office. And I thought that shit was done like 2 or 3 years ago when they come through here raiding everybody. I honestly thought it was done. I was like, whoa, really? That's still happening? Still a thing?
Bring them up from the jail for the house arrest people and stuff. They would have sex all over the place with them too.
From the jail?
Yeah.
Were you ever there when that happened?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew the girls personally. Yeah. They were my friends and family. They were the people that we lived with on the streets.
So they would
The other ones that they've done the same thing to and taken their kids and slammed them and put them with all these big crazy charges.
So I mean, you're saying it like it's so normal, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So the judge would have sex with inmates from the jail.
Yes.
And you saw it.
Yes.
Oh.
I was part of it.
Oh,
I was
goodness.
one of them. Not just from being in jail, like coming in off the street and seeing them. Yeah.
How did they keep it a secret?
It wasn't a secret.
It wasn't a secret until the day Mickey lost his shit. Mickey, why'd you do that? You knew about it too. Wasn't there a better way? I don't know, man. Were they trying to throw Mickey under the bus? Was the judge doing what I thought the judge was doing all along?
It wasn't a secret.
Why did you feel like you had to have sex with the judge?
Because he's the one with the power. He holds my entire life in his hands. He's the one that makes the decisions over whether I get to keep my children or not. He's the one that makes the decisions on whether I go to jail or whether I get like they would drug test me all the time, and I would pass it, and social services would come in and say like, no, she failed it, and I would have to make them lab it every time because I wasn't failing it. That was the one good thing that Kevin did for me when my twins, we fought for them for months. Finally got them back in the home. Social services was so harassing and so bad that he called her out in court. He said, that's enough. He said, you have taken this too far, and I'm reporting you to Frankfurt. And he called, the ombudsman like contacted me and to supposedly open an investigation against the child services here. And I never heard nothing about it.
Did the judge ever say, you have to do this, or if you do this,
you come see me 3 times and we'll take care of this. If it's a ticket or something, you know, or you.
Judge, I got a speeding ticket. Well, come see me. We'll take care of it. Seriously? I got to find that video that I played a long time ago, and it's of that one I spoke of earlier with the judge talking about the program he was running, and the sincerity in that man's voice. Oh.
You get some minor charge, some petty charge. Come visit me a few times. We'll take care of it.
He would say that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
how many women do you think were also doing this?
Total over the years, hundreds.
No, Pammy, it was never, I never heard he grasped the daughter, but we had heard that it was about the daughter, right? That he had tried to call Mickey tried to call his daughter right before he shot the judge, is alleged. He does call somebody, but it doesn't appear to be. I think Hillbilly Crime does know who it was, because people have figured out it's not his daughter, right? So, hang on. Whoa. Okay. Thank you, Forrest. Appreciate you. I won't allow distractions anymore. Let me move. I just lost my train of thought. Forgot what I was going to say now because I had to stop and read something, but never mind. It's all good. We're going to keep moving forward. So, I'm sorry, I got my thought back, Pammy. So it was alleged that it was about his daughter, but it wasn't, apparently, because after Mickey shot him and he got arrested, he did make statements about my wife and daughter. Are they safe? They're going to hurt my wife and daughter. They're going to kidnap my wife and daughter, to be exact. And we were like, well, wow, it makes you wonder, was he really being threatened? Was he? This is too big. You cannot allow this dirty little secret to get out to the world. Are you kidding me? Heads will roll in the state of Kentucky. Every case Mullins ever touched is tarnished. These are serious allegations. It's insane. But yeah, I don't know were they threatening his daughter and his wife? Keep the secret? Or else? What's Mickey going to say in the deposition that, when pressed by these attorneys that have these women who are willing to talk without telling the truth?
Yeah. And not just for the women who had charges. Like if your man or somebody, your child is in there,
Oh, Pammy, you're good. You're fine for asking the question. I was just letting you know that what you're right. That was a rumor. I didn't know about the grasping part. I never heard that. But it was like there was an involvement, right? Like the judge was getting it on with the daughter. That was the rumor behind what caused him to lose his shit and do that. But apparently that wasn't it at all, Pammy. It was a whole lot more, right?
Then you could go see him for that too.
And everybody knew this was going on?
Yes. Yes.
So what did you think when the sheriff killed the judge? When
My
you found
heart
out?
just like exploded in relief. I thought finally somebody is going to see this, because now they can't look away. They have to look. They have to see what's happening here. And then it's been all this time and still not seeing anything happening, you know. Nobody's saying anything. People have been making videos and coming out with their story for a long time, but they're being retaliated against to the point that they're...
With that said, these videos she's talking about, I believe that Elizabeth has actually shown a couple of those girls talking on videos, and that's where I saw a couple myself. And so it was like, when will this go bigger than YouTube, right? Our reach is what it is. It's kind of like these mainstream media people figuring out to come to YouTube because they got more time to even dive into shit, whatever they're doing. But you need that broader reach. And when you can get the mainstream media to pick up on a story in the right way that really deserves the light, that's big. This is going to be big old investigation in the state of Kentucky. My goodness. What will this do for Mickey Stein's defense and that emotional disturbance defense that he's got going on? You know what I mean? Well, how's that going to affect his case? They just had a hearing to either dismiss, and they also tried to get a bond reduction, and they haven't ruled yet. The judge didn't rule. In fact, he gave the state time to respond, which it's kind of weird. Kentucky's weird. Kentucky's weird.
Leaving this, they've had to pack up and leave homes that they own here and leave the state and go rent somewhere else because they've ran them out of town.
Do you feel nervous talking about this? Have you been retaliated against?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I also know that God's got this, you know, and that our kids, I don't want our kids to have to grow up in this town like it has been for us.
Amen, sister.
Because once they get their hooks in you, they never let you go. You don't get to live. You don't get to choose your life. You don't choose your own path. They do that for you.
Has anyone tried to intimidate you into not talking?
Like comments on Facebook, and yes, a lot of victim blaming, shaming, stuff like that, petty stuff. But then also we had the message from the jailer's sister that said that they started it, she's going to finish it. And she's on Facebook like slandering Liz, saying she went through like hours of footage to catch a freeze frame of her eye like glitching like in the middle of a blink or something, and put it on there on Facebook. Look, she's high. We need to call CPS to come take her kids.
Oh, boom. And that's how it happens. Look at this weird screenshot I just grabbed of this person. It means this. Okay, body language, facial expression expert, sit down with your stupid shit.
And that's how it happens. They'll call CPS on you, and then they will take your children unfounded for nothing, for no reason. Or like in my case, the court ordered me to take Suboxone, and then showed up at the hospital when I gave birth to take my child because she had Suboxone in her system. She had Subutex in her system. They said my prescription wasn't valid. It was. My clinic had closed like a couple weeks before I went into labor, but I still had a whole month's prescription for that month with pills left over that I hadn't even taken yet. And that was their grounds for taking her.
How many times would you say you...
I'd like to look into the number of doctors in this region. Yeah. Is this drug program / ankle monitor program / now we got all the girls in our grips / whatever the fuck was going on there? Is it tied to bigger pockets? Like pill mills? Things like that? Can we go there yet? Or is that too much? Let's stick to what we got first. I can go down the rabbit hole too.
You had sex with the judge in the courthouse?
Countless.
Countless?
Or sexual relations. of some sort. Yeah.
I mean, if you had to put a number on it.
I don't know. Have you seen my record? It's a long one.
Oh, wow.
And basically,
He's been part of every charge I've ever had.
and when you would get a charge, what would he say?
Wow. That's insane. He's been a part of every charge I ever had. You know, was he playing like the good cop, bad cop? Sometimes I'm going to get you into the drug program. We're going to look real good and shiny for this camera and these programs and this money I need for these programs. Because, you know, it costs money to run these programs. But you come back tonight and I'll give you some more drugs and we'll party all night. That's insane.
Say?
He'd laugh at me, tell me come see him. We'll get it figured out or whatever. But he never did. He ended up just like,
Texas Ranger, I've heard the same thing. The Suboxone is what they take when they're like addicts, right? But from what I learned in the Florida stuff, because of the pill mill situations here, and there was like methadone clinics or whatever they're called, that's where they go to get that stuff. The people who even use that as treatment, I don't know, I think they use it in a bad way as well. I don't know how it works, but yeah, I don't think the intention, it worked like they thought it would. This was weird. Do you get them hooked on the opioids or do you get them hooked on the Suboxone? Which one is it? Win-win? Win-win for the drug company again.
slamming me. They slammed me with all them other crazy charges there at the end. Like once they were done with me, I think that they got scared. And something about it is they don't like for us to get sober. When we get sober, we start to heal and we start to speak on who hurt us. And they don't like that. So they'll send people out to relapse you and pull you back into their nonsense.
Do you know why the sheriff killed the judge?
I don't, but I have my own suspicions and beliefs.
What do you think?
I think that he's seen that nothing was ever going to stop. Nothing was ever going to change unless something big happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was that triggered him to actually do that. Like, I don't know. I couldn't say.
Oh, he damn sure got triggered. He didn't even hesitate. He knew he was on camera and all. He went back and made sure it was done. That man was mad. Doesn't make what he did right, taking a life like that. There was a better way. I'd rather see the judge stand trial for what he did, if what he did is true. If the allegations are true against the judge, then I would like to see him be held accountable for his actions. And Mickey made sure that didn't happen. It's not funny, but damn, Mickey. Jesus Christ, this was a lot. Maybe he was under a lot of pressure and had an emotional disturbance situation. We got stand your ground in Florida.
But knowing everything, and then if you notice, they put that charge on Ben Fields, right? Like he's the only one or something. And
okay, Ben Fields is the one, he was the bailiff for the judge. Mickey Steins used to be the judge's bailiff for years. Then he became the sheriff. Ben Fields then became the bailiff. Ben Fields is the one the lawsuit was brought up against by the girls who leveled accusations against him, sex in lieu of paying for my ankle monitor. That's how it started with Ben Fields. Ben Fields took a plea deal. And the civil suit was filed. And then Mickey went and gave his deposition 3 days before he shot the judge. And now here we are. Wow.
Mickey ended up getting named in a lawsuit for not doing anything about it or not properly training them. So I wonder, like, if he was like this is so far out of my hands, what am I supposed to do? It's like all these people here that have evidence, like physical evidence of all these horrible things that they've done to them, are just hiding it because there's nobody to give it to.
Okay, so there's no one to give it to. Do y'all think Mickey was being threatened or was intimidated by the judge? By all the people who probably didn't want him to talk? And if he didn't talk, was he going to be, he's being sued here. He wasn't under a criminal charge yet or anything, right? He was just being civilly sued. But what was coming out in the civil suit was insane, and it made Mickey look like the only guilty party. What a mess. So much for the get together on Sunday after church with the chicken.
But what, you know,
What do you think of? I mean, what do you make of the sheriff? What is his sort of reputation?
he's got a good reputation. He was well respected. He was always good to me, fair, firm. You know, he'd take you to jail and stuff, but he wasn't like a groper and raper and stuff like the other ones. And he was always good to me.
Did he know about everything going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it bothered him. Like, I really do. Because I asked for house arrest. I kept asking over and over. I kept saying, Mickey, please let me go on house arrest. Like, this is crazy. And you know these charges on me are crazy. So every time I get him in the elevator, take him to court, I'm begging. He'd say, well,
I don't know what just happened, guys. Let me pause it. I'll take it down. Hopefully it'll pause. Let me pull it back up. Can't scare Mama Bear. You're correct. Thank you for dropping some knowledge in the chat. You are correct with your comments there, and welcome in, by the way. All right, let me get this pulled back up. It's crazy, guys. He's going to talk to the jailer. She was a girl who was employed there, so she's not part of the I got in trouble, get me out of trouble situation. She says that she witnessed these things. Let me get it back up and see if it will. Oh, wait. That's the wrong one. Okay. Tomorrow, guys, we'll get back to unpacking some more of the document stuff that came down in the Kohberger case, because I haven't lost interest in these documents. There's still things I want to review and look at and discuss with you guys. So we'll get back to that tomorrow, but let me get this back to play.
You know about everything going on?
yeah. Yeah, I think it bothered him. Like, I really do. Because I asked for house arrest. I kept asking over and over. I kept saying, Mickey, please let me go on house arrest. Like, this is crazy. And you know these charges on me are crazy. So every time I get him in the elevator, take him to court, I'm begging. He'd say, well, we'll see. And then he never would put me on the list. And it makes me wonder why now.
Did anything ever happen to you in the jail?
All sorts
I mean,
of
because you talk
things.
about having sex with the judge, but that was mostly when you were out, right? Trying to avoid.
Yeah. Or
But what about when you were in jail?
yeah, the jail workers and stuff, a lot of them, they would come up to the doors, stuff, they want to see your titties. They want you to come up so they can put their hands in the beanhole and touch you.
What?
Things like that. There was like this old
Jesus.
stairwell in the middle of the jail across from the mid-room. Like, they would take girls in there and stuff sometimes.
How do all these officials?
So you're in jail, and they're walking up to the bars, touching on you, showing your tits. Hell, if you're lucky, you get to get out of the cell and go have some sex in the closet and go right back in. What? Wow.
Get away with this?
They run it all. They run it all. Their rehab programs and stuff, they're all in it together.
Oh, shit.
They all got their hands in it. The drug court, they just keep extending your sentence, extending your sentence. How is that? Do you know what happened with my case? We had the fight. They charged us with unlawful imprisonment in a holding cell beside the booking desk. They charged us with unlawful imprisonment, which is kidnapping. That's the charge that stuck. And they told me I had 7.5 years total. I get to prison and get my time sheet, I had 12.5 years. So I went and seen legal aid. They said once the final judgment is filed, there's nothing else that you can do. It's final. So I did my time. I made parole upon completion. I did all their programs and stuff that I was eligible to do. And when I got out, they tried to make me to go to drug court. They tried to add drug court onto my sentence.
Jeez.
And I threw a fit. I said, no, this is not right. And this was not part of the plea deal. And y'all already screwed me and gave me 5 extra years anyway. We're not doing this. my parole officer went back in his office, and he came back out and said, well, they agreed that if you would do aftercare for 6 months, that you don't have to go to drug court. So I did their aftercare. I did their MRT classes, anger management, parenting.
So no walking without papers in this town. You're going to be in the system one way or the other, like it or not. Really? Letcher County. You damn fools.
You name it, I did it. I served out. I went to go get my gold seal. I was so excited and so proud that I accomplished it and that I was done. I finished it, you know? Like, I've worked so hard my whole life just to get out from under this place. Finished it. I go in to get my gold seal, my certificate, and he says, the state says they're not going to release you because of your child support until it's paid in full. That just destroyed me. That crushed me. And I still didn't know, like, what Cool had said for a while after that. Like, that's a more recent development when I got on there and seen that I'm on parole till 2099.
What?
And I've been trying to find somebody from the outside for a while to look at this case, like, because nothing about it is right.
So for people who aren't, for people,
Okay, call out you YouTube lawyers, you freedom fighters and fighters for justice. Maybe we should get her court records. Be the voice for the victims.
who aren't from here, I mean, there's obviously a lot of people on drugs or have been on drugs.
Yes.
Does that just make them vulnerable to this whole system?
It does, and they use it. They start giving you drugs as a minor. Like, so you're already addicted. You're already addicted. So they use that to...
Now, with that said, how many girls do you think were 17, 18, 19, got a little bit of trouble with a little bit of weed, dabbled in a little bit of whatever at a party one night, got pulled over, boom. You grooming, you giving her a little bit of this, alcohol and weed to start, and then she's getting a little bit of that one time to get that one charge. Yeah. And then it just grew. And now we're on to the big drugs to feed that pipeline flowing through your town and lining the pockets. What kind of scandal do we got here?
keep control over you.
Do you think
It's diabolical.
Do you think they think, oh, no one will listen to these people because they have records, they have been on drugs?
And that's why they want to keep us messed up and, you know, out of it, so we don't have any credibility.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also spoke with a woman who says that she worked in the jail. So she had a very interesting perspective. This is an interview that aired first on News Nation. Look at this. So you worked in the jail?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How long did you work there?
About 3.5 months.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was your job?
Deputy jailer.
And what
I was one of the guards.
One of the guards, so in with all the
Taking
inmates.
care of the inmates and stuff like that, helping give out trays, meds, watches. There's a lot of times I was in the booth, just different things.
When did you realize that something strange was going on at the jail?
When Ben Fields came in and became an automatic trustee, that was what had made my eyes go, oh wow, okay, so our systems aren't how they're supposed to be, not even in our guidelines. It confused me because, you know, most times in jail, when somebody comes into jail, you're there for a while and then there's the process of, if you want to become a trustee, which is one of the inmates where they get to do special jobs like helping prepare the food or going out on work release, you have to apply for that. You have to ask for it. You have to show that you have the initiative to want to do it. And Ben Fields, from first day stepping into our jail, was a automatic trustee. Special treatment. It was awful. We have 2 solitaries that is beside the ice box where they keep all these supplies, feminine products, pops, stuff like that, which is supposed to be a one-man cell. At some points there's 2 or 3 people in there, but there was 2 men that was in that cell that had gotten moved, so that way Ben Fields could be moved into that cell. He got a brand new bed, he got a brand new flat screen TV,
A flat screen.
automatic trustee.
A flat screen TV. An automatic trustee. No, not so fast. A flat screen TV. The hell was he eating in there?
He had his own pack of cigarettes in the break room, Marlboro Red Shorts. it just wasn't fair. You know what I mean? It just showed the system wasn't how it should be.
Did you ever see anyone having sex?
I never seen anybody having sex, but I had heard stories. One of the female guards specifically was telling me that one of the places she takes male inmates was the storage room, which used to be a stairwell in front of the medication room. It's literally directly across. You can't get in there without a key, and that's where they take them. A lot of times.
The female took the male inmates to this closet? Is that what she just said? Damn. They really was swingers. Ew. Ew. If I was a swinger, I would not be getting it on with the people from the jail. No shade to the people in the jail. But no. The whole thing is ew.
They get took up into the courthouse, especially after hours late at night. Nobody's at work. Nobody's up there, so it's all empty. It's all empty space.
How
See, it's kind of like the Latah County Jail underneath the courthouse.
common was that?
More common than you would want to believe in the court system. Even down to some of my daily supervisors. There'd be girls sign themselves out and take them on home. It was sick.
The supervisors would take the inmates home for the night?
Yes. When there's policy, once an inmate leaves that jail space, you're not supposed to be in contact with them for 6 months. So it's one of those things, oh, you're taking them, and then the girls go back and tell them the stories, oh, I slept with this person when he took me home. You know, it's sick.
You go sign out your inmate for the night. Go have your choice. What? The hell? How many girls y'all round up per day to throw in the county that night? Y'all can go in and take your pick. Take them down there to that house where the swing is. What in the world is going on in Letcher County, Kentucky?
What did you think when you were working there?
That it was a brothel. It is all it's all a brothel between all the employees sleeping with each other and sleeping with the inmates that come in.
Employees sleeping with each other and the inmates as well. What was the population in this town? Because I got big questions, and I might need a whole ass other pot of coffee. My goodness.
And a lot of them, they are repeat offenders. A lot of them are permanent stayers. It's nasty. It's sickening. I've even had one of my personal supervisors go way over the limits of even trying to get my family to force me to be in a relationship with them while I was previously in already in a relationship. And it's like, sir, like, this is supposed to be you're a work friend, you know what I mean?
They was trying to recruit the youngins. Y'all, them youngins is coming to apply for jobs. We got to recruit their ass.
I mean, it's not a good environment.
What would the inmates get in return for having sex with, the leadership?
For inmates, the smallest things, unless you're going with one of the overheads. If they're sleeping with the guard, it's mostly for things like cigarettes, time out of the cell, pops, commissary, things like that.
Wow. What did you think when the sheriff shot the judge?
A lot of the corruption was going to come out. I knew that that was going to be the beginning to set everything aside to make people come in and people's voices finally be heard. Because I believe that the sheriff, he either knew something or something was going on that he knew about that we all might not know about, but he was doing something to protect us.
So the sheriff was your boss?
Doing something to protect us is what she just said about Mickey Steins. Was her impression of why he did that. To finally give these girls a voice. Was Mickey done? Mickey's like, this is too much. I ain't the one getting it on, but I know all of y'all are. Or was he? Nobody's accused Mickey Steins of doing that yet. By all accounts, he was like a big old town teddy bear. Made me wonder, did Mickey get roped in along the way? Just, the judge's got his back. The judge is looking up to the judge, all the things, the bailiff for the judge. Was Mickey groomed to become the sheriff because he could turn a blind eye to what the judge and his buddies were all doing all over town? Oh boy.
Or was the jail separate?
The jail is separate from the
Okay.
police station.
Okay.
Yeah, or the sheriff's office.
Okay. Did you know what was going on with the judge?
Yes. No, that's a reverse question of which part of what was going on.
Did
with
you
the judge.
know, inmates were having sex with the judge?
Yes, pretty much that's kind of the thing that everybody in the county knows, but it was confirmed to me after working in the jail, especially after being invited to a party myself.
What happened?
I said no thank you, I declined, and kind of just went back on to what I was doing. It was just one of those things of, was I just asked that? Like, did that just really...
To a sex party?
Yes.
Who asked you?
It was Mr. Mullins himself.
What did he say?
He had talked about they do little get-togethers and everything. He didn't explain it to me as in a party. It was a get-together of some of the higher-ups. I'm not going to say names for other purposes.
Oh boy, we got names. Of course we got names. Oh man, what are those names doing right now? What do y'all think they're doing? They're lawyering up? Damage control? Having emergency meetings? I don't know.
But for some of the other higher-ups, and it was just a get-together, them doing like a little meeting, like a lunch, not a lunch, a dinner. Sorry, I keep getting mixed up. But he didn't really get too far into it. But if you're being asked to go to a late night get together with the higher ups, that it's not nothing to do with eating.
Uh-oh.
Right. At least not food.
So you knew.
Nothing good happens after dark, does it, baby girl? Mm-mm. No, sir, not in them tiny towns.
What was going on?
Yes. Other coworkers, and or my ex-coworkers, they come out and even ask me now not to mention it. They've even, them participating in the parties themselves, I had another one ask me to go to another one of Mullins's get-togethers. And I declined it again because it's one of those things.
Another one of Mullins's get-togethers. Not Mickey's get-togethers, Mullins get-togethers. Lord. So far, they have not implicated Mickey as being involved in the sex stuff, guys, but he knew about it. Okay, that much is, I think, obvious. Mickey knew, but was he a participant? They have not pointed the finger at Mickey Steins yet. They're kind of like giving off the vibe as they get why Mickey did it. Ugh. Ooh.
I was raised better than that.
Oh,
you
yes.
know what I mean? Our Southern goals, especially being raised in Southeastern Kentucky, we know better than that. Our mama's raised us better than that. Our grandmama's raised us better
Preach it, baby girl.
than that. Our great-grandmothers raised us better than that. But a lot of the cases for a lot of the girls, especially like our girls like Ty or like C. Bentley or a lot of the other ones, they are forced into doing stuff like this, like that, for either help with cases or it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
And there's other men and stuff too around here that host and do things and film, make their own movies and stuff too.
That's why I say a lot of them, the higher ups is what I call them. Especially from where I'm in a court case right now, I don't want like saying a lot of names because you never know what they could do to us, especially for retaliation. But if you know, you know in the county. Everybody knows. They might not speak on it. They might not want to be involved in it because of the fear of retaliation, because there's so many people that has come out.
Her court case, and the person in the background was talking about the other higher ups and their own videos and their own this and that, and they're like, yeah. What? Goodness gracious. were they all the higher ups getting it on these random locations? And the judge just, man, I hope they all had money set aside for like the doctor who treats, those diseases you can catch from getting it on with all these people.
And spoke out about what Judge Mullins has done or other crimes that have been participated in, just regards of Mullins and Mickey Steins and all this, and they go to speak out and they either end up overdosed when they're clean, or you don't hear from them again. And I get that. And for all the people that have spoke up, I'm unbelievably proud of them, especially our girls like Ty. Like, I'm so proud of y'all, especially speaking out. Things like this that happen in small communities and small towns, even if we're afraid to speak up on it, we need to, because is this what we want for our next generation? Mm-hmm. Is that what we want for our kids, what we're going through?
Right. They could leave this legacy and choose not to do anything, and it will continue. And then when their little girl grows up, she accidentally, drives with a joint one night, it could be on. That's insane. Susan, yes, hillbilly crime. I said that. We have been saying that, right? She's killing it. Everything she's predicted and talked about is finally coming to light. Thank goodness. So I do encourage everybody to go over to Hillbilly Crime and get caught up on anything backstory you want or need. She's got it. She, like I said, she has talked about these things going on for a long time now, over there at the channel. We knew girls were talking and they were getting fed up, but it was just, when will it go next level and national media latches on so that all the eyes can be on it, right? And what if these allegations, and there's no reason to think any of these girls are lying. None of them, not one so far, have given me a vibe like that. So all this, if it's true, man, that's incredible. And it's really sad for their community. Really, really sad that this could go on to the depths that this is apparently happening. And I hope all you higher ups out there tonight are not going to sleep good. You need a double shot of whiskey to help you get there.
What our past people have gone through, do we want that for them? And no, I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want that for my son. I want better for them. I want an actual community that's not based on if you got money and know people and if you're willing to get on your knees or on your back.
Oh, goodness.
It's sickening. And I want better for them. I want better for not just my babies, for Lexi's babies, for Ty's babies, for all of them, my grandchildren one day. I want better for them all.
So the latest on this case is there was just a hearing for the sheriff. He's been in jail ever since the murder of the judge. His attorney is now asking for a $50,000 cash bond, saying that he should be let out, saying that he's not a flight risk. There's been no decision right now on that. He remains behind bars right now. But it seems the information...
I wonder why the judge wouldn't make a decision during the hearing about the bond, considering the fact how long he's been in jail, right? I mean, you knew you were having the hearing about the bond. Why not make a determination today? That's weird to me, but whatever. So yeah, the judge has not ruled on what he's going to do yet on that last hearing. So the case will continue to move forward. But, excuse me, how will these new allegations affect that? How much of this? I'm sure Mickey has told his attorneys all of this because they're fighting hard for Mickey's defense, right? And they've done interviews and things like that. Court TV's covered a few interviews with them, things of that nature. There's a lot to unpack with that case and the fight that's been on since Mickey got arrested. There's been a lot of videos out there. I've watched a lot of them. We'll have to review them. Where Mickey, after he got arrested, right? They have all that on body cam, his reaction, the things he was saying, his behavior. They took him straight over to Leslie County Jail instead of keeping him at Letcher County Jail. And, he was paranoid on the ride over there. Like, where are you taking me? Why are we going this direction? Guys, treat me good. Y'all be good to me. Guys, treat me fair. All these things he was saying made you wonder about why he's saying them in the way he was saying them, right? It was like they know what's happening maybe, but y'all be good to me anyway. I know I just shot the judge, but y'all know why, kind of thing. It was crazy. It's let's see what you guys are saying. Oh yeah, get together has a whole new meaning, Pammy. Oh boy. And Elizabeth had talked about this, God, a long time ago, about these parties that would take place, like a cookout slash thing, right? It's normal in the South. You get together in the evenings, you have a bonfire, you cook out, whatever. Drink some beer, build a pyramid in the pale moonlight. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I do, because we've done it. That's how I know. So, yeah, what was going on at these parties, right? There was already questions about what these parties were. It was like that was the party was the people who worked at the jail and then other people that were at the party as well. So I think that's the parties that Elizabeth was talking about, what these girls are mentioning now. How long has that been going on? She, according to her timeline, the judge was the assistant Commonwealth attorney at the time when it began with her. So I had to look into how long he was actually the Commonwealth attorney, right? And how long has he actually been the judge? I know it's been a long time since he's been the judge, and he's like the judge, right? It's tiny town America. We got one judge. We're a one horse town, and that's the way it starts. When was this interview? Enton dropped these last night, Pammy. They're fresh, brand new. Dropped, and can we get the link in chat, guys? Because y'all do go that. Thank you for mentioning that, Pammy. Because y'all go over and show Enton some love on this, not for him, for these victims, for this story, to get it out there. Let others see it. Get it on Court TV again. Get it on other media outlets. That this stuff is happening out there. We can use our voices for the right reasons versus sitting here discussing bullshit about Idaho 4 all day. Right? I got better things to talk about, like corruption in tiny town America. Look, Idaho 4 people, look, right here in your face. Will you cover it one time? Will you know where to start? Will you understand the words in the document? Will it make sense? All right. Oh my goodness. Let me pull up this article I have on the judge, guys. I'm going to show you the kind of level of bullshit, right? The level of BS. Like, what does this even mean, sir? The Mountain Eagle is a local newspaper there. I know Elizabeth's referenced them before. I think that's how I actually started reading anything they put out, was from her channel. All right, let me get the screen up here. This is an article about the judge. Like 2018. 2018. Look at him holding the baby. Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins held Kaylee Danny Lynn Rose recently in the Letcher District Courtroom in Whitesburg. Mullins sentenced Kaylee's mother, Allison Rose, left to Karen's Place, where she began treatment for her addiction while still pregnant. Karen's Place? How was it funded? Did you sit on the board? Sound of gavel banging and the dramatic clang of cell doors aren't typically associated with hope. In this case, the judicial system saved Allison Rose's life. On June 28, 2018, Rose found herself facing charges for possessing drug paraphernalia and complicity to traffic methamphetamine in Letcher County. This was not her first drug-related charge. She had several other nonviolent crimes and convictions under her name, all related to her struggle with drugs. This arrest was different, though. Rose was approaching her 4th month of pregnancy. Her pregnancy was confirmed in jail, and first ultrasound was performed while she was incarcerated. Luckily for Rose, Letcher District Judge Mullins was presiding over her case. I've known Allison all of her life. I went to school with her older sister. I know their mother. She comes from a good family. Wow. She just, for whatever reason, ended up with this drug problem, said Mullins. I was sad for her, but I was also sad for her mother and her kids. Eastern Kentucky is no stranger to the scourge of addiction, or the scourge of addiction. Communities across the region are burdened by the economic and social impact of the disease and the effects it has on families. Like many counties across the nation, Letcher County has seen a tremendous rise in drug-related crimes in recent years. According to Judge Mullins, the number of drug-related incarcerations has created a serious problem in the county jail, where occupancy has nearly tripled and drastically exceeded allotted bed space. Holy shit. We can't keep doing the same thing and expect something to change. Hasn't worked, he said. Mullins is developing hero status among his constituents. His gavel has represented opportunity for struggling addicts that come before him on the bench. I suppose some judges want to appear hard on drugs by locking up everyone who has committed a drug-related crime, he continued. I think there is a balance. If someone is a non-violent offender but has a drug problem, it doesn't make sense to lock them up with no treatment. It's costly and ineffective. They'll come right back. There is no harm in showing these people compassion. Mullins has created a network of resources for those facing him in the courtroom on drug-related charges. A network of resources. Tilly Everman, who works at Addiction Recovery Care, I think I've heard that name before. Addiction Recovery Care, LLC, ARC, yes, Elizabeth, that's where I heard it, is in the courtroom on a weekly basis to assist addicted candidates to treatment. On a weekly basis? Everman and her co-worker, Michael Clark, both graduates of ARC treatment, applaud Judge Mullins for being integral in changing the culture of the penal system for addicts in Letcher County. He gets it, said Clark. He knows that these are people with mothers and fathers and kids who care about them. He knows that if they clean up, there'll be taxpayers, employees, parents, and people who contribute. Given the right opportunity, yes, sir, absolutely. Like many close-knit communities, it's not uncommon for Mullins to have social familiarity with many of the people he encounters in the courtroom. It's not uncommon for Mullins to have social familiarity, I can't say the word, guys, with many of the people he encounters. So he's socially familiar with a lot of the people he encounters in the courtroom. However, his goal remains the same with all those battling addiction in his courtroom. We want to get them help, he said. We want to get the help to them. Mullins proudly keeps a copy of every certificate of completion from the men and women who he has sent to recovery programs. He keeps a copy of all their certificates of completion? Every single one of them. To date, he has more than 100 certificates in his collection. Y'all, like they're trophies. And he remembered, oh my goodness, he remembers details about many of the individuals represented by each piece of paper. I bet he does. I bet he does, you dirty old man. She did this and I liked it. She did that. Disgusting. Ugh. So he's got his little trophies also. He estimates that the rate of reoffense for those in recovery to be roughly 17% based on his calculations from the local inmate population versus the current statistic of 68% for those who have not sought help with recovery. It's really a win-win for us to get these people into treatment, he said. I bet it is, because there's money involved. I'm predicting. Theory. It's a working theory, people. Welcome to my channel. We got a working theory. Throw yours in the chat if you want, because we don't know what the hell is going on here yet. This ain't like that other case. Rose was offered the opportunity to complete a residential treatment program for expectant and new mothers at Karen's Place, part of ARC's extended network of residential facilities. How many are in Lawrence County? So how many residential facilities did Lawrence County and Letcher County have, and what's going on here? How many y'all need? If y'all didn't realize, if you got that many and it's all about all these drug treatment, y'all don't realize there's a problem bigger. How y'all getting the drugs into your community? Who's funneling them, right? It's like when the outbreak of crime and all these guns on the streets of town and everybody's panicking. I'm like, well, y'all, where do y'all think they got them from? We're going to scream about all these shootings every day, but we're not worried about where the guns came from. I am. Who's funneling them into my town? Who's bringing that massive little shipment of illegal guns into my town? Can we start there? Lord. Karen's Place integrates clinical treatment with faith-based recovery model. According to the website, Karen's Place is a commission on accreditation of rehabilitation facilities, also known as CARF, accredited state license. Alcohol and other drug entity, AODE, and behavioral health services or services organization residential program. Residents participate in 1 hour of weekly individual counseling, 15 hours weekly of recovery small groups, 12 steps, NA, AA, living free, and celebrate recovery, and group therapy sessions. Rose, who had once before attained sobriety, was struggling tremendously with guilt and shame from her relapse when she arrived at Karen's Place. Oh, guilt and shame. I'm sure. The impact of her addiction was felt by many, including her children and her mother. My mother thinks she failed me. She didn't, Rose said, fighting back tears. Over time, Rose began to accept her newfound recovery. She started leading groups at Karen's Place and reestablished communication with her family. Letters from her daughter encouraged her to stay focused on her health and recovery, mending her relationship with her mother. I was like, no, not the mother again. With her mother, Lord. It gave her tremendous peace and hope for the future. November 20th, Allison welcomed daughter Kaylee Danny Lynn Rose. Kaylee was born perfectly healthy, in her mother's likeness, with no signs of her mother's former drug abuse. Thank you, Jesus. Because them little babies can be born addicts. It happens all day, every day. It's sad. They go through little withdrawals and the whole 9 yards. Asked what she attributes Kaylee's good health to, Rose answered, God. This is a miracle. She is a miracle. In stark contrast to her booking photos, Rose exudes the glow of a new motherhood. The change sobriety has had on her physically pales in comparison to what it has done for her mentally and emotionally. On December 14th, Rose left Karen's place and returned to her mother's home. She was met with tears of joy and relief from her three older children, who are thrilled to celebrate the holiday with their new baby sister. If God hadn't intervened, he, her former partner, would have killed me, or the drugs would have, said Rose. I had lost all hope and the will to live. The odds were stacked against me. With the odds now in her favor, Allison embraces her newfound hope and overwhelming gratitude. This has enabled me to be the mother my children deserve and the daughter my mother deserves, as long as you still breathe. Now, this particular woman, the judge knew, went to school with her, knew her sister. Got to have some good role models for my little programs. 2018, this article was put out ranting about the judge, how great he is and his programs and his drug program. That's crazy to me, considering the allegations we just heard and unpacked, right? Reading that and what he's over here being all godlike, savior of his community, who is being just torn apart by the grips of drugs. We're fighting back. We're going to save these poor women and men, apparently. He's like, yes, honey, I did get it on with that inmate, but if you want to go get it on with one of the male inmates, I give you a free hall pass. She's like, really? Cool, because I did see a cute one down there. What the hell? People. Are they on drugs too? Or are they just giving it to the girls? There's a lot to unpack, guys, with this case, right? Do we all need to go take a shower now? Yeah, Pammy, the entire situation. It's like, that's why I'm wondering, how deep does this really go? Because Elizabeth has talked about things about these. I've known for a long time there was some sort of tie with what was going on in that with the sex stuff with the judge and this town, and it's all related to this, to the drugs. I know it is. There's too many coincidences popping up, too many accusations now, and all these programs that I've known about being in place for a while. The video I watched that time of the judge going on and on about he needed they got the funding, they fought for all this stuff to do this for these women, and they're building this up as some great effort to get their women off drugs when they're the ones feeding them the damn drugs. And I don't say rugs over here. If I get in trouble with the YouTubes, it's just going to hurt me on my ad revenues, which is not much. So we're good. I'm not concerned. You think it goes deep, Butterfly? Sure. You and I have watched this Mickey Stein stuff from the beginning, and it feels like it, right? And if you watch Elizabeth's content and listen and hear her out and hear the stories, yeah, you get the vibe, and you were wondering when it was going to come about, right? What about the FBI, Rachel? Will it escalate to that level, right, to the federal level? Because it does involve a judge, a state judge, right? It's not a federal judge. So what about the Kentucky State Police, right? What is their reaction on this? Where's a statement from the Kentucky State Police right now? Because we kind of need one, because some heavy accusations have been leveled against somebody in your county, right? One of your counties has got some shade right now, and y'all need to put a little sunlight on it. Because if y'all don't, we will, and we are. And we're going to do it the right way. Because, Lordy, that's a lot to take in. So, guys, I'm not super great at playlists, but I do got some content on Mickey Stein's buried in there somewhere if you guys want to go look. Maybe I'll throw it together in a playlist so it can be a little easier for you guys. I got to get better at doing that stuff. I did get better when we're unpacking this Kohberger stuff, so it's easy to find, but I do got some more content on Mickey. You guys are welcome to go back and check it out. Go check out Hillbilly Crimes. We're going to keep an eye on this. Because that's a lot, and those are heavy accusations that deserve to be looked at, right? If that's true, that's incredibly sad. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna finish unpacking some things here with the other case we've been looking at. If there's really anything there that I feel like there's really not as far as the Bryan Kohberger case goes, I like looking at investigation stuff, all the crime scene type investigation scenarios, but I don't need to be graphic and show pictures. But if there's really anything in those documents that I think, wow, I really want to talk about this, the community might be interested in this, we're going to talk about it. Doesn't mean we're going to dwell on it and spend a week on it, because there's just too many other things out there as well to talk about. And let's face it, there were 500 documents. That's a lot. So it's going to take time to pour through a lot of that as well. And plus, we're still waiting on the unsealing of the documents. There's going to be a lot to unpack with that case for a really long time. And I'm not looking forward to sitting here for 6 months unpacking Bryan Kohberger. Like, I will unpack it, of course, but it won't be what I do consistently for the next 6 months, because that's all there is to do. There's plenty of other things to do, but I hope you guys stick around for all of it as we move through it and our way here. And thank you all for coming in and being a part of the chat. If you all came in at the beginning of the show and you're still here, thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. It does help us out in the algorithm. Other than that, I don't have much else to say about the YouTube streets, except do that. Do y'all stay safe on those streets. If you choose to cross the lane and go spend time over there, that's on you. Keep it over there, right? Those conversations aren't going to be happening here any longer. Mods know what to do. With that said, we're going to wrap it up for today. We're going to move forward here on True Crime, Coffee and Crime Conversations. All right, guys, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe and follow. Much love from Little Yaz to each of you.